Neptune's Owl. I'm going to talk about how to become a god. Now, God is very subjective because whenever somebody is using the term God, they're either referring to what they personally experience as God or what somebody else has personally experienced as God, and they are referring to their God as their God, or they've created their own God or whatever. But ultimately, everybody's term of the word God is different. Everybody experiences what they call God differently. Now, what these people are actually talking about is they're talking about their moral system and whatever they think is supremely right or correct, what they think they have to do morally in order for things to be successful for them or harmonious. And over time, everybody's morals, everybody's morality system, it has to change, it has to evolve, or it has to be destroyed completely, because you can't ever stay within a limited awareness for too long. There's always more things to expand on, and you're always going to learn, okay, sometimes, some things are right, sometimes, at other times, those things that were right can become wrong. So morality always has to change based on circumstance and situation and events. And of course, there are things that are absolutely 100% wrong to me personally, and have been my whole life, for sure. But we're talking about more like little things, not like really like disgusting, terrible things in the world. We're talking more about like just day-to-day, how we interact with ourselves and others. Some people's gods are the government. The biggest influence in their life is their government or their country. They try to serve their country. They try to serve their government. Or it might be the society that they're in. They try to serve their society. They try to serve the people around them. And that can look like all kinds of things. Some people's gods might specifically be money. Some people's gods might specifically be alcohol, if you're an alcoholic. Whatever has the biggest influence on you and does the most dictating work in your life on how you choose to make your decisions is what that. Even if that's not what you're calling God, that is actually ultimately what is your God to you, even if you're not aware of it, or whoever is talking about whatever they're talking about when they refer to God or Jesus or whatever. Because they might be like, no, like God isn't, like, because they're like a heavy alcoholic, they're obsessed with their booze and whatever, and they're obviously finding a way to justify, still being an alcoholic and drinking every day, because otherwise they wouldn't do it, right? So they might look at it like, yeah, like, it's wrong to drink and all this, and me drinking does all of this. Then they might think that they have to drink in order to do something, or they might think, oh, I might drink in this and that, but it's a good thing because it makes me do this, or yeah, so they either think that they need it, or they think that it's somehow helping somebody else. So their alcohol has become their moral system, aka their God, which is what dictates your decisions, it has your biggest influence on you. The only way to have free will, like, what free will is your personal sense of right from wrong, left and right. Whatever's correct to you, whatever's right to you, that's always what your choice is. You do it because you think it's the right thing. Or if, like, you're coming from, like, a left-handed perspective, you're intentionally doing what is the wrong thing, because the wrong thing is the right thing to you. But that's more of just to be rebellious towards what most people are calling wrong, because what's wrong in those moments is actually right to you. So we all have our own God. We all have our own morality, our own dictating factors and our own limitations and our own abilities. Now, I want to talk about, though, how to become your own God instead of needing a God outside of you. How to internalize God instead of externalizing God. And becoming a God, or becoming God, is simply that. Being independent and free of the need of something external to be God, or a God to you. Being free of the need to have somebody else make your decisions for you. Being free of the need for somebody or something else to tell you what is right or wrong for yourself. Taking full responsibility and accountability for your own actions and choices. So that would be, it doesn't matter what you have done or what you will do. If you did something, take full accountability for it. Don't blame it on God. Don't say that it was due to external things. Say that you chose to do it, for good or bad, or both. Even if it was just, even if you did something and it put you in a really bad circumstance, don't blame anything else for being put in that circumstance. Take accountability. You chose to be there. You made decisions that made you get there. And now whether you want to be there still or not is your choice. Whether you think that being there is good for you or bad for you, or what's necessary or not necessary, that's still all your choice. If you're going to be your own God, you're going to be fully accountable and responsible, you make those decisions about what you prefer and don't prefer, what is wrong or right for you personally. So even if you put yourself in that position, don't say, I just hope that, God put me here to teach me something or to help me get to where I was wanting to go. You don't need to externalize it and say that there was something outside of you watching over you and doing things behind the scenes and putting you in this position so that you can get your desires fulfilled. You don't have to look at it like that, because you don't need to externalize God. You don't need to externalize your responsibilities. You can internalize your responsibilities and put yourself in full power and full control of your own existence and your own path in life. And so maybe, you did all these things and it put you in this position. Let's say you decide, no, this isn't what's best for me. This isn't what I want. Well, there was something to learn from that. So it's just like a game of chess. It's trial and error. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up sometimes. Learn what there is to learn from it and find your way out of the situation and get back on the best path for you, whatever you decide that is. If you have a need to have something outside of you tell you what's best for you, or to guide your path, show you the way, that's fine. But just know that in some way that makes you a little bit irresponsible, but that's fine. Because not only is that your choice, but if you have an actual relationship with another being that is guiding you like that, that's fine, because it's just like a child. A child isn't fully responsible for themselves. They need a parent or a guardian of some sort to guide them and provide for them. But once they grow up, they become independent and they make their own choices. They take care of themselves and they become responsible for their own lives and their own life, their own existence. So, no shame. There's no shame in being a child spiritually. But at some point, we all do need to grow up and become our own God, our own being that we follow. Imagine if you just lived with your parents for the rest of your life. Eventually, you're just going to start to get bored, right? You're going to start to feel like, damn, I really wish I could have some space from these people. I really wish I could go out and do more things without being limited by just doing whatever they're doing with their lives and going wherever they go and staying wherever they're staying in the universe or the planet or the town, the country, whatever. you're not going to want to forever be a child. I remember when I was a child, I used to think that I was going to want to live with my parents forever. Trust me. You're not going to want to be a child spiritually forever. You're not going to forever want to have a God. At some point, you will want to be independent, and you have independence. You will want to take full responsibility for yourself, and you're going to have to, or you're going to be stuck in a very boring existence, and you're not going to like it.